We're back with our top 5 for Huey Lewis and the news, and I think
Mhm.
I think my I'm actually very interested in what Mike has for his top 5 because my top 5 is going to be, like, very familiar to kinda like my 10 and 12-year-old self. Like, it really hasn't changed from the songs that I really enjoyed, including one that you probably are anti 100%.
I mean, I
Uh,
think based on our previous conversation, you might already be
yeah.
aware of this.
Yes, yes. And it's my favorite Huey Lewis song of all time.
Wow.
That
I
was
thi actually, you know what? I think we had a discussion about this way back in the day.
way back in the day. Like
Yeah.
I so hip. I'll spoil it. "Hip to Be Square" is my number one favorite Huey Lewis song, and I knew the lyrics. I knew all of the lyrics to this song, and it's kind of one of those things where when you've done this before, which is you listen to an album and you're like, okay, that's the hit, that's the hit, that's the hit. And then they come out on radio and you're like, "Oh, I'm glad that, that they released it because that's the one I thought was the best song." I
Right.
was like that with uh TLC's Waterfalls. Like when I heard that first album and we've talked about that on 50 for 50, I was like, that's the best song on the album. And same with Boys to Men, I think it's Evolution, Water Runs Dry.
Mm.
I was like,
No, that's on the second album.
it's like Evolution, right?
Yeah, it's on 2.
Oh, 2. Okay. Evolution's the 3rd album. My bad. So I was like, that's the best song on the album. Casey and JoJo, when they came out,
Um,
and All My Life, I was like, that's gotta be the single. Like, what are we doing here with these other
yeah, I
songs?
mean, I remember having that same conversation back. This is in my record store days, and we played that album over and over, and all of the women in particular loved All My Life, and this is months before it got released as a single.
And so when 4 comes out, Hip to Be Square is my favorite song on the album. Now, some of that is because the 49ers are singing background
Sure.
on it.
Shout out
Um,
Joe Montana.
so when that song comes out and it actually makes the radio, I'm, like, so excited. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." Like, they actually put this out as a single.
They were
So
listening to you, Garrett.
yeah, well, I was just, like, over my head over heels, and this is when, we were talking about it on the Huey Lewis 50 for 50, where I would have my little tiny boombox, and I would have my cassette in there, and I would have it in the position of record and pause, and I would just wait for Hip to Be Square to come on, and then I would unpause it and then get the whole song. And back then, eh, for that whatever mixtape that was, I probably had Hip to Be Square on there like 5 times. Like, what do you need the song 5 times for? But it was just like so exciting. Oh my gosh, it's on the radio. Another song that I would always record. It's gonna make you laugh because it's a little bit of groan inducing, but That's What Friends Are For. I just thought it was so special to have all of those people on the same song. And so
Man,
like Eye of the Tiger, That's What Friends Are For, and Hip to Be Square are just like littered throughout all of my old mixtapes when I'm a little kid.
that is a motley crew of songs. That's what Friends Are For is one of those songs that just got played out over a period of time and it got real corny real fast. But I was at a show last year seeing Gladys and Patty perform. And actually, Patty's not on the record. What am I talking about? Seeing Gladys perform with Patty and Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. Um, and as I'm on the merch line, that's what Friends of Four is playing, and I'm like tearing up. I
Yeah.
don't know what the hell. I'm just like, oh, this is weird because I
Yep.
don't like this song, but in the moment, it just like it hit me in the right place. So no shade to that's what friends are for.
All right, let's go. So, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first. I think I went first last time.
All right. So, number 5, and you would actually hate this song as well. But it is the other song in which the 49ers sing background. It is called Walking with the Kid. And, when I was really young, so this is 1986, 1988, actually, because it's on the Small World album.
Mhm.
For some reason, even when I was a little kid, and that's probably because my parents were young, I'd always like had this idea of like, okay, when I'm at this age, then I'm going to get married and then I'm going to have my own family. And so walking with the kid is about like a son and his dad, and like, they're just kind of hanging out, and there's a line that is so corny, but the line is, the bad guys all respect us cuz we're family. And
Oh
like I was
God.
envisioned like, this is kind of going to be what I want to do when I get older, and I had my kids at 24 and 25. So yeah, I just that was like, I don't know, it's a little bit of like a premonition for me, that song. And 49ers sing the background.
I guess I gotta dig back into Small World.
You will
Uh,
not like this song. The song is so simplistic and corny, but it hits me. It hit me when I was 12, or yeah, when I was 12, and I
right.
still love it today.
Okay. My number five is actually the only song on this list that was not a single. It is, if I remember correctly, it's on Picture This. It's called Tell Me a Little Lie.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I like that song because it sounds like the Police, and I love the
Mhm.
Police.
Mhm. Very much
Uh,
so.
yeah, but great song. If you're not familiar, go onto your streaming service of choice and check it out.
Yeah, in recollection, when I went back to listen to Picture This, I was like, he's ready. Like
Yeah.
this, yeah, like they needed that album to kinda get a hit single so that people could pay attention to them, and then it's like, "We need this, and then we're gonna give them sports, and things are gonna blow up."
Oh yeah.
Alright, number 4 for me is a song, called "Naturally," and it is a little bit of a, kind of like a little bit of like a doo-wop song, on 4. It's near the end of the record, it's the second to last song on 4, and, it's not one of his famous songs in any way, but it's got that, like, barbershop quartet, which is, I loved it when those guys would do that kinda stuff. Um, it's, like, less than 3 minutes. Probably I'm the only one who really knows this song outside of the Huey Lewis diehards, but I always love that song because it's very catchy, singable. They make these weird noises, and it's fun.
It's you know you brought up the national anthem earlier, and I think one thing that's important to mention when we're talking about Huey Lewis in the News is that when they went out and did the national anthem, they would do it in harmony, a
Mhm.
cappella.
Mhm.
It must have been the '88 World Series or the '89 World Series,
Okay. That's
which
it.
was the one with the bridge, the where the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever.
Yeah, the World Series of my nightmare, so the Giants got swept by
All
the
right,
A's.
I would assume the Huey Lewis in the News did
Oh, I'm
the
sure they
national
did
anthem
game
in one of
3.
those games.
I
Yeah,
I'm sure they were supposed to do game 3, but that's the game that has the interference of the earthquake, so
earthquake.
I wonder if they
Right.
then came back when they restarted it.
That was '89?
89, yeah.
Man, oh man. Okay, well, while I'm looking that up,
Well, I mean, they
uh,
but the version of the Star Spangled Banner that you're talking about, that's how they would do it. It's just in harmony, and, like, every time it's, you can go back to probably back to, like, 1984, when the 49ers were on top, all the way through the '80s, because the Niners, and even into the '90s. I remember, because the Niners have been in the playoffs a lot in the 2010s and the early 2020s as well, and I'm almost sure that Huey Lewis in the News has come back to do the Star Spangled Banner for those
yeah,
games too.
man. So it doesn't look like Huey Lewis in the News did the anthem that year. They may have been supposed to. Stevie Wonder was supposed to play it during Game 3, and the Whispers, Rock and Steady, did the national anthem for Game 2.
Oh, that would have been in Oakland.
Right. Game 4, Nell Carter sings the national anthem.
Wow.
And it was a sweep. So there you go.
Yeah, unfortunate for me.
Yeah,
Very sad time in my life.
it's all good.
It was about to be the best year of my life, by the way. You know why?
Why?
Well, the Niners win the Super Bowl, and then that same year, the Giants won the World Series, and I'm like, "I'm gonna get 2 of these things?" is incredible. And we're right in the middle of Run TMC with the Warriors,
See, with the Warriors, right?
and then it all just didn't work out
Just all
necessarily
went to
the way
crap.
I wanted it. Yeah. All right. So what is your number 4?
My number 4 is actually from Picture This as well. It is the second single from that album, which is "Hope You Love Me Like You Say You Do."
Yep, that
It's
was
just
on my the cusp of my list for sure.
okay.
I
It's
love that
just like
song.
a super mellow, uh, kind of like easygoing, summery kind of song. And he has a line about where he quotes the Beatles, and it's something it says something about the love you make being equal to the love you take, or something like that. That I thought was a really well written line. Um, but yeah, that's just a great song. It wasn't a big hit when it was first released. I don't think it peaked in the top 40. But I remember hearing it on like easy listening radio quite a bit during the late 80s into the 90s. So
So my number 3 is a song called Old and Tones.
okay, I've heard of this song.
Now, so I just really did a quick search to see what the influences were. And the influences to this song were Cajun and Zydeco. Am I
Okay,
pronouncing that word
you're
correctly?
pronouncing that right. Yep.
Okay. So the song is a direct homage to the accordion-led funk music of French Creole-speaking people of South Louisiana. And Huey was influenced by the king of Zydeco, Clifton Chenier, which is interesting. I never looked into the, origin of this song because it's so different than anything that they've ever done.
Right.
Um, and, the shuffle feel of the track now, again, this is, we're digging into Google here, so some of this is possibly hearsay, but
Yes.
the shuffle feel of the track draws from artists like Professor Longhair and Fats Domino. Yeah, but I really, really love this song, and Bruce Hornsby plays the accordion on this one as well, so 2, Bruce Hornsby references, on Huey
I
Lewis
mean,
music.
yeah, I mean, I think that Bruce Hornsby I was about to say came into the league,
Mhm,
uh, came into the music business like Huey Lewis kind of gave him the assist.
mhm.
He was the Diana Ross to Bruce Hornsby's Jackson 5.
If you
Uh,
listen to this song, it just stands out as, what why is this song on this album? Like, it's, so different than anything else that you've ever
right.
heard from him, so that's also
And
why I
also,
really like it.
give a shout out to Bruce Hornsby, who has worked significantly with Spike Lee over the years, so give him props for that. B, for making "That's Just the Way It Is," which is one of the greatest songs like ever. And I saw him live in concert twice in 2019, so relatively recently,
Which
and he's
you
still
didn't
doing it.
mention the Tupac s
Right? Yes,
interpolation or sample or whatever of
that is
Changes.
correct. That is correct. So shout out to Bruce Hornsby.
Yeah. Alright, what's 3 for you?
Three is "Stuck with You." Um, I get why people kind of messed around with four a little bit, because I do think it got a little silly. Like certain
It's
songs are
cheese.
just,
That song is
yeah,
definitely cheesy.
super cheesy. Stuck with You just kind of like sticks the landing there, where it's 100% corny, but Huey Lewis has got enough like charm and charisma to kind of like pull it off anyway.
He's
Um,
he's tongue in cheek in a lot of these
yeah,
songs,
yeah,
and it
you can
and it
tell he's kind of making fun of himself.
it doesn't come across like the people who don't get it definitely have a problem with it,
Right.
but if you get Huey, he's goofing the whole time. He's, like, saying,
Yeah.
"Look at how silly this thing is, and look at what we fret over in our life. Like, this is, like, just let's have fun with this," and,
He's
so
he's
that a
very
lot of his
self-deprecating.
and, we'll talk about this, well, we won't. Well, I'll just say it here, but in Hip to Be Square, he changed the lyrics from 3rd person to 1st person, and there was a little bit of irony there, where people were giving him shit for like, "Oh, you're saying that you're this," and he's like, I'm writing a song. This is not
So,
really about
right.
me. Like, I could
Yes.
have
I mean,
had the lyrics in 3rd person and then but this is like so he does stuff like that.
yeah. All right.
Alright,
I think you're up. Number two.
number 2, Power of Love. It is there is a I haven't I don't listen to Power of Love as much as the others because it is not on his albums. Like if I just go through the discography and I listen to all the albums, it's not there. Like you said, you can go to the greatest hits, you can go to some other places to find it, but it's not something that just comes up when I listen to Huey music. So then when I do get to listen to it, it feels almost special to me because of how, I just haven't listened to it over like something like Naturally, I've probably heard it, twice as many times as I've heard Power of Love. So it's
Okay,
for whatever reason, like it stays in that like special state for me.
good. Songs should do that. My number two is Heart and Soul. Uh, that is, I don't know. I really love that song. I never get tired of it. It's danceable. It's fun to sing along with. I've done it at karaoke before. It's just, it's one of those kind of just, it hits the spot.
And number one for me, I already mentioned Hip to Be Square.
Yeah, to be square.
Hip hep and everywhere. Hip hip hip, hip. They
Be
like
square.
changed the title of the song at some point for some reason that I don't know. Like it went from Hip to Be Square to too hip to be square. Like, they
Really?
added the 2 on it, like, in some places, like, it's kinda weird about the naming convention of that song.
That's silly.
Yeah,
Why
and
would
I
they
don't
do
even know
that?
why. I was kinda wondering if it was, like, the same reason for, This Place Hotel and Heartbreak Hotel when we had the Jacksons
Oh
discussion about
God.
why they
Yeah.
but I don't know if I didn't know that there was another song called Hip to Be Square, so I wouldn't know why they would have to mess with the naming.
There's definitely not another song called "Hip to Be
I
Square."
don't think so.
I can probably I can guarantee you that pretty much.
Alright, what's number
Um,
1?
my number one is "Power of Love."
Yeah,
As
it's
soon as
it's an easy
I hear
one.
the beginning of that song, it just transports me back. And like I said earlier, Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies of all time. I saw that movie in the theater. It was one of the first movies that I saw in the movie theater. And again, as soon as it's like, "Dun, dun," I'm immediately 9 years old again. I'm back in the movie theater. I can see Marty on the skateboard. Like it's just, I am sort of stuck into that memory whenever that song comes on.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. This was I wouldn't say this was a hard top 5 for me because I do that there are just songs that stick with me after all these years.
Right.
But if we had a top 20, like I could have easily reeled off like so many songs. And then I would have added songs from Picture This. And because I don't even have a song from sports in my top 5.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right, man. That is it
We did
from
it.
here. This is a little bit shorter, but that's what these top 5s are supposed to be. We
Yeah.
will have a playlist
Playlist.
from Mike, which will be I'm super jazzed to see what you put on the playlist. And we'll put that post up on 50for50.net. So for Mike, I'm Double G. See you when we see you. Peace out.